Hey guys, and welcome to the Blue Bridge, and welcome to my players review video of our 3-0 demolition job on West Ham United. So let's get into it. So 3-0. We don't win often at the London Stadium, and we did it yesterday. So I'm going to get straight into my players' ratings. But before I do, actually, just finished watching the 2-2. I'm glad Man City equalised in the last minute only. Arsenal only a point ahead of us now. I couldn't hack it if Arsenal had won. Their fan base would have been unbearable. So well done, Man City, for scoring and knocking the stuffing out of Arsenal. Hopefully that will knock the confidence out of them, because if they had won, that would have given them a lot of confidence going into the rest of the season. So I'm hoping that this doesn't give them, that stops their momentum. So anyway, on to the Chelsea player rating. So let's start with Robert Sanchez. Not as eventful game as it was last week against Bournemouth, but he still had one or two saves to make. Most things he did okay. A couple of hearing moments with clearances that weren't, and what is life without a hearing moment from Robert Sanchez? But in the main, he did okay. So an okay is a 6 for me. So moving on to the right back position yesterday, we had Fofana playing in that position. He was, I'm trying to think what Fofana offered yesterday. He only played 60 minutes. I think they're managing his time because of his injuries that he's had in the past. He didn't venture forward that often, and I'm just trying to think. I'll give him a 6 actually, because there wasn't anything outstanding. There wasn't any glaring mistakes that he made. He was up against what's his name? The guy they bought from Leeds. His name escapes me. The one who Chelsea were after, the guy I'm talking, Somerville. That's it. And he managed him pretty well, I think. Somerville had a couple of... No, that's what he did do, actually. I'm going to drop down my marking, actually, from a 6 to a 5.5. And the reason being is because he could have given away a penalty. In my review video yesterday, I said that it wasn't a penalty, but I've watched it again, rewatched it, and I think he was lucky to get away with that as well. Don't know why he was holding his hand there. Silly thing to do. And if the referee had given the penalty in that situation, then we wouldn't have any complaints. So I think that's one that we got away with yesterday. So yeah, 5.5 for him. And then Tosin, I mentioned Bubble's gonna burst, and he had to play with a lot of courage yesterday. He had to live up to those words, and he did live up to those words. He didn't put a foot wrong. Dominating in the air, intercepting tackles, bringing the ball out from the back, a little bit of skill as well from him. And I thought, yeah, he had a very assured performance, so he deserves a 7 for me. And Colwill, again, I like that partnership actually, the Colwill-Tosin partnership at the moment. Going back-to-back clean sheets we've had. He made some great clearances. He's shown a lot of leadership. He's putting his body on the line. That's what I like to see now. And I feel that he's getting more and more assured as the games go by. And for that, again, I think he deserves a 7 for me. Cucurella, okay. On the other wing, West Ham had Kudus, and Kudus is always a tricky player. And Kudus didn't get a lot of change. There's a couple of opportunities, but apart from that, didn't really get a lot of change out of Cucurella. Cucurella's inverting into the midfield area as well to give us bodies there. So I thought he had a decent game. So I think I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Right, in the midfield now, Enzo Fernandez. And again, I don't want to look like I'm knocking Fernandez, but I didn't really see what does he do in his team. His passing's good, don't get me wrong. His passing's good. Some of his positioning was okay. But I'm still looking for more from Fernandez. We've paid a lot of money for him. I'm looking for more. So I'm going to just give him a Oh, 5.5, because didn't really see what he was offering for us today. I might be wrong. Put it in the comment section below if you can tell me if I'm being unjust with that score. Right. Then next to him was Moise Caicedo, and now that's what I'm saying about being able to justify your price tag. When he first came, and what is great, it was great redemption for Moise Caicedo, because remember he made his debut against West Ham last year, around about a similar sort of time. No, it was August actually. It's just a year, literally a year and probably a couple of weeks to the day that he made his debut against West Ham. And remember, he had not a great debut. Did he come off the bench? Gave away a penalty, or gave the ball away, what led to the penalty. And he was quite poor in that game. But what a difference a year makes. This guy now is becoming a key player in this team. And we won loads of tackles, dominant in the air, good passing as well. And yesterday I thought I gave my man of the match to Nicholas Jackson, but again, looking at it and re-evaluating things, I thought that he was a very important cog in our wheel. So I'm changing my man of the match from Jackson, and I'm giving it to Caicedo, because I thought it was an immense performance yesterday, and for that I'm giving him a 9. So moving on to the wings now, Jadon Sancho, not as influential as he was on his debut, but he still credited an assist for the first goal for Nicholas Jackson. So a little bit quieter yesterday, so for that reason I'm going to give him a 6. On the other wing we had Madueke. I thought, he's living on that hat trick at the moment. I thought there was a couple of opportunities where he could have done better to square the ball. He chose to shoot instead. Not really as influential as he has been earlier on in the season. So I think 2 back-to-back average type performances. So he's getting a 5.5 for me. And Cole Palmer, I feel sorry for Cole Palmer now. He's a marked man. Lots of tactical fouling, similar to what happened against Bournemouth, where West Ham players were just fouling him and not allowing him to dominate the game. Still showed 1 or 2 lovely touches and a brilliant finish for his goal as well. And for that reason, I'm going to give him a 7. And so then we've got Nicholas Jackson. I mentioned him yesterday in my match review. He scored the goals. That's what we asked him for. He was in the position. 2 great finishes and an assist. And I thought his all-round play was really good. He kept the he gave a lot of trouble to the West Ham defence with his running and his enthusiasm. And so I thought he was really good, and it was a really close decision between him and Caicedo. So he gets an 8.5 for me. Right, moving on to the substitutions now. We had right. I was trying to think of all the substitutions that we had yesterday. Oh yeah, we had Pedro Neto, who came on for Sancho. I thought on the left. I'd like to see him on the right, like what Maresco said, but he did okay. He was quite busy. He was trying to make things happen, I thought, and yeah, so he gets a 6 for me. And João Felix, he gets a 5. I was quite disappointed by his performance yesterday. He should have scored at least one of those 2 chances. He snatched at the chances, and that pass and the pass to when we had a breakaway to Neto was just poorly weighted pass. So for me, it wasn't a great cameo from him. He gets a 5. And Nkunku should have scored with a header. Great save, but he could have done better. Came out with a few tricks and flicks as well from him. So he gets a 6 for me. Disasi, thought last week he was, not great. When he came on for Fofana, I thought he was good. He didn't give West Ham, the West Ham wingers any joy when he was tight, used the ball well as well. So I thought he did well when he came on. So credit where credit's due for him. And because he wasn't on for that long, I can only give him a 6. But yeah, well, a much more improved performance. Dewsbury all came on towards the end as well. And is he worth rating? I don't know if I could even rate him because he was only on for about 3 or 4 minutes. So I think it'd be unfair to give him a rating. So I'm going to be Maresca. I thought he deserves an 8 because he said he studied the West Ham tactics. He drew them in, hit them. Obviously everyone thought West Ham looked poor, which I thought they were quite poor. But again, some of it could be to do with the tactics. He studied how they played. He nullified their threat. And he managed us to a 3-0 win. So his use of substitutions was pretty good as well. So he gets an 8 for me. And the referee, as I said, I was praising him but it was probably a penalty. So yeah, the fact that he was allowing people to foul Cole Palmer and get away with it, not giving anyone any tickets. Yeah, so. Not as bad as Anthony Taylor last week, so I'll give the referee a 6. It was an okay performance, but there was obviously some things that could be improved upon. So, guys, those are my player ratings, referee, manager ratings also thrown into the mix. Do you agree with me? Would anyone be different? Do you give anyone anything different from what I've marked them? Let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget, as always, like, subscribe, turn on post notification to be notified every time I make a new video. So take care. Bye-bye.